My name is Jeff Higgins, and thanks for joining us today. Today, we're going to take a look at the 5 regrets that you have when you downsize your home, or the 5 regrets you could have, the 5 regrets we want you to try to avoid. Again, my name is Jeff Higgins. Let's dive right in. We're going to take a look at 5 regrets today, and actually, we're going to add a bonus, a number 6, that is be a little bit of a surprise. But again, 5 regrets of downsizing plus bonus number 6. So again, my name is Jeff Higgins. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the big red subscribe button. And that way you can get videos here. You get all the resources that we produce, all geared towards downsizing. So let's dive in. 5 biggest regrets. Number 1, regret number 1 of downsizing is you pick the wrong location. That's right. We get so focused on maybe it's budget, maybe it's trying to save some money, that we pick the wrong location. Why do we do that? Well, what happens is that we focus on the location that is maybe right for our today needs, but we don't anticipate future living needs. And with that, we come up maybe a little bit short with that wrong location. So again, it's the wrong location, and you want what's most important is really kind of anticipating the future needs. That's going to be things like accessibility to amenities, meaning where are doctors? What do you like to do? Where's the closest, whatever, if you're a golfer, whatever that happens to be, is you want to make sure that things are still going to make sense for you, not only today, but in the future. So again, we see the biggest mistake or at least the number 1 mistake, is picking that wrong location, because maybe we're focused on other things. So number 2, regret number 2 of downsizing is that they go through the whole downsizing process. When the dust settles, they haven't saved enough money. So again, a lot of people are motivated by downsizing. Homeowners we're seeing are downsizing for a variety of reasons. It might be health reasons. It might be just to be closer to friends and family. Sometimes it has nothing to do with really financial. They want to move. It's time for a change, and they need a home that better fits their lifestyle, and they're not so budget sensitive. But sometimes we see that homeowners are focused on trying to save monthly as they're heading into possible retirement, or maybe those years. And what happens is we're so focused on saving money that at the end of the day, we underestimate it, and the savings haven't been that great. What we're seeing here in Michigan is there's a property tax reset. So what happens is you could sell a home, and we had a recent example, sold a home in Bloomfield Hills, and a couple had been there for 23 years. So again, their property taxes were really artificially low, because here in Michigan with the Headley Amendment, our property taxes are locked in and not to increase, because it's our homestead, at the rate of inflation, or 5%, whichever is less. So what happens after 23 years of being in the home, taxes are artificially low. Now you go to sell a home, and if you're buying a home, in this case, it was a condo in a smaller, but basically a little less price point, but not much, but a lower price point, your property taxes actually increase significantly. So again, with the dust settled here in this case, savings weren't as much. So again, we're trying to get ahead of that for our clients and really help them really kind of put together all costs there, even some of the hidden costs of moving. So again, regret number 2 is that when the dust settles after you've downsized, the financial savings weren't as great as you anticipated. So again, if you're new to the channel, again, my name is Jeff Higgins. Make sure you subscribe here. You get all different resources that are really all geared towards downsizing, including possibly some investment decisions. I mean, it's all towards, you're in those years. And when I say investment decisions, it's really geared towards real estate. Before we get to regret number 3, again, we'd love to hear from you. So before we get to regret number 3, any kind of comments, drop the comments below, regardless if you got a question or you disagree with what we're saying here, we'd love to hear from you. So again, regret number 3 is that you've downsized and you've taken it too far. What does that mean? Regret number 3 is you've downsized and now the home is too small. It doesn't fit your needs. Again, sometimes we get focused on price point, or we get focused on the fact that we should go from a larger home to a smaller home, and we forget we still need maybe in this case, maybe in your case, it's a larger kitchen, or maybe it's having room to entertain friends or family, or maybe it's that extra home office that you still need, but in our quest to downsize, we've overlooked it in our new home. So that's the biggest regret people have, is that they've gone too small. Maybe you don't have enough storage space, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you don't have a garage. That was one that we encountered recently. So just make sure that when you're downsizing, that you actually are downsizing for what we say for the right reasons. And you want to make sure that your home is still fits your living needs today. That I know you're trying to get a smaller home, so it's easier to take care of, but you really want it really needs to fit your needs today. So we see that's the regret, right? The home gets so small that you just don't have enough room for for what you're used to. And we are not seeing people. I don't know if it's a fallacy, but we don't see people that have maybe had this large home that are going to go from a 5,000 square foot home or a 4,000 square foot home or a large home, whatever that happens to be, and go to a smaller condo and be happy. That's that it can't be done, but we're just not seeing that big of a shift, right? So maybe it's and that's why we're seeing many more people age in place. But if you're going from that large home to a smaller condo, really take the time to identify what's most important to you. Is that a studio? Is that a garage? What are those key things that you need in your new home? And when you identify those things, maybe your new home's not as small as you may think. So again, regret number 3 is that you downsized and your new home is too small. Number 4, and this kind of ties into number 3, and it follows right after. We did this intentionally, and that is it's a loss of personal space. So what happens is you downsize your home, you try to go for a smaller home, and now what happens? Now you basically have lost that key thing. You've lost that man cave. You've lost that home office. You've lost that personal space. You lost that reading area. Right now, the home is smaller. Now you got a smaller home, but you've got areas in your home that really don't fit for you. In all of our homes today, we've got that spot where it's like we really don't, we really don't use it, but we've got it. Be it an extra bedroom, extra home up, whatever it happens to be. We've also got those spots where it's like that's our chair, that's our spot, that's our place. You want to make sure that you've got that personal space identified in your new home. That's the key. So we regret that we will see someone will downsize and like, oh, I don't have a spot for my piano. I don't have where I love to play and relax, or I don't have a spot to read in my home because I don't have the space. So again, we want to lead with that. So identify that first. Let that drive your decision. It sounds odd. We always go through a checklist with our home buying clients and say, okay, what are the 5 most important things that you need? And that's good, but we really want to get beyond just we need 3 bedrooms. We must have this, we must have that. Really getting down a little more granular and saying, what's that personal space that you need? And really having that on there, right? Is it a man cave? Is it an art studio? Is it a spot to read? Is it a spot to play the piano? Whatever it happens to be. Is it a music room? We had that recently. Whatever, let that lead the decision. So again, that was number 4. Number 5 is that we try to downsize. We go through a process with our clients on downsizing. But number 5, the biggest regret is that you've got an emotional attachment to your possessions and now you've got rid of them. Let me explain. So the regret that we'll see people go through our process or go through a process of downsizing. And what we recommend in our process is keep, donate, sell, dispose. KDSD, keep, donate, sell, dispose. Keep the items that you want. Donate those that you feel that are donation worthy. Sell those that you think get some value from. Highly recommend Facebook Marketplace as a side note. And then D is the dispose of. We have a partnership with a local junk luggers franchisee who does a fantastic job of cleaning up. So you go through that process, but what happens is that, now you've kind of course corrected too much or you've overcorrected. What do I mean by that? You go through that process. Now you're left with possessions that maybe that are important to you, but they're not the most important possessions. Give me an example. We had a client recently that went through the whole process, did a fantastic job of doing it, but the regret was they didn't have their space for their music collection. They had a fabulous music collection of old albums of all different genres, a lot of classic rock. That was displayed in their former home. Well, now when that happened, they didn't, they kept that possession, but now it's in storage. So it's, again, making sure that your new home accommodates those possessions, right? We want to kind of declutter. We want to take less, but let's identify what's most important to you, whatever that happens to be. If it's collectibles, if it's family heirlooms, if it's a music collection like it was in this, whatever it happens to be, is letting that drive the decision. So again, the last thing that you want is that you've decluttered, but you've got this emotional attachment to certain items, but identify those items because you don't want to get rid of those. So again, my name is Jeff Higgins. We'd love to hear from you. What is your downsizing plan? What are you thinking about in today's market? Interest rates are super high. Inventory is very low. We don't want to see any of our clients. We don't want to see, anyone settle. You're out there looking for a home and it's like, geez, I should downsize. I know I can save some money, but when the dust settles and maybe you can't save enough money, it doesn't even make sense to downsize. What is your downsizing plan? Drop that below. We'd love to hear from you and see what you say. And again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to hit that big red bell button and subscribe. So again, we said we'd have one more. So what is that bonus one? What is that bonus regret? So again, let's go through the 5 again, and then we can get to that bonus regret. So regret number 1 is that you picked the wrong location, right? You've gone through this and you picked the wrong location. Regret number 2 is the financial savings haven't been as strong as you would hope, right? You haven't saved as much money as you'd hope. Regret number 3 is that your new home is too small. Regret number 4 is that you don't have the personal space anymore. You don't have that man cave. You don't have that art studio. You don't have that home office, whatever it happens to be, that you don't have that personal space. And the last one is you really have gotten rid of items or not be able to accommodate items that are important to you, right? You've decluttered, but you've got, so the regret is you basically, you don't have the spot what's most important. Be that the example I gave earlier in the video was the music collection. So now we've gone through those 5. What is the bonus regret? Well, the bonus regret is why even downsize at all? And that's the regret, right? So it's not necessarily the regret of downsizing, like should I, the act of downsizing, right? I can get a smaller home. It's actually, should I have done this at all, right? And I think that's where you'll see that some owners, like, they go through all of this, and it's like, especially in this market, inventory is super low, as I mentioned earlier. Interest rates are high. So if you're not a cash buyer and now you've got a home, you feel that maybe you've settled and you haven't saved that much money, and it's like, why did I do all this? So we are seeing more and more people choose to age in place. What does that mean? It means they're going to stay and they're going to make accommodations for whatever happens to be based on their needs, and they can age in place regardless of what happens. We're seeing more and more do that. And because we've got equity in our homes, we're seeing some of our homeowner clients saying, you know what, I can't find what I want. I'm going to stay in place, and I'm going to take the home equity in my home, and I'm going to do what I want to do with it, whatever it be, a place up north, place in Florida, whatever the case happens to be. We're seeing them basically make their decisions that way in downsizing. So again, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what your downsizing plan is. But the biggest regret is some people say, I shouldn't have downsized at all. That's the bonus regret number 6. Again, my name is Jeff Higgins. Really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next video.